some point in almost everyone's life, they come to the decision that they need help with their financial planning, and they turn to a financial services firm for guidance. Generally, this happens long before they've reached the age of retirement. But there is also another segment of society that's often very overlooked: seniors who've already retired or in fact been retired for many years. They need help as well because by then their goals have changed. Unfortunately, there are very few firms with either the knowledge or the interest to help them. On the other hand, here in the state of Florida, there is the firm of Seeman Holtz, who caters to this segment almost exclusively. Their goal? To help their clients secure their income and create a legacy. And for seniors, it's an invaluable service. To learn more about their operation, we visited their Hollywood, Florida headquarters and talked with the firm's two key executives, Marshall Seeman and Eric Holtz.
When we do financial planning, we do financial planning very differently than most kind of traditional brokers or traditional financial planners, because traditional financial planners work on strategies to accumulate wealth, to grow wealth. How am I going to double my money in 10 years?
The process begins with meeting with either myself or Eric, one of the principals of the company, as well as one of the other agents. And at that time, we do a complete analysis of their situation. We take all of their information, whether it's their income, their assets, their net worth, what is their chronic illness plan, are they short on income, do they need more income, how much of their money are they not spending presently, or how much more money do they need to spend, do they have long-term care insurance or chronic illness planning, do they have life insurance currently. And we gather all this information so that we can show back to our clients what their current situation is, because quite frankly, most of our clients probably don't even know before they meet with us what their current situations are.
So what do you actually recommend for truly newly retired clients?
The beauty of that is that everybody is unique, because when people retire, they have different sources of income. Some people, Social Security might be their only source of fixed income. Other people have very large pensions. You know, people that work for the state or the government usually have, or teachers, have pretty good pensions in the few thousand a month. So those people have a much higher fixed income, so they need to rely less on their IRAs or the rest of their non-qualified assets, the rest of their money. So what we'll do is we'll take a small percentage of somebody's assets, their net worth, turn it into this immediate annuity that gives them the income. The beauty of doing a private immediate annuity is that that income is considered a return of capital, so is therefore not taxable.
One of the things that impressed us with Seeman Holtz is that they talked about using some of your retirement funds rather than continue to have them grow, and to me that sounds very important for somebody that's in retirement, is to be able to use the money that they save for.
We try to educate people, we try to educate our clients. You're retired. Quit trying to solely focus on accumulation. You need to shift to distribution, living the rest of your retirement on your money. Whatever you do not need at the end of your days, we try to help you pass that money to your beneficiaries, to charities, to your grandchildren, things like that.
We also get their medical records. We order everybody's medical records to see what we can do using life insurance to use some of our concepts to help their situations. Majority of our clients can get some type of insurance. Now, it might not make sense for them to get insurance, and if not, obviously we don't talk about life insurance with them. But if we can get them approved for insurance, most of our clients, it's a good thing for them.
A couple of years ago, we saw an ad in the paper about a seminar on annuities. We have some annuities, and we didn't really know the pros and cons of them, and we wanted to go and find out about it.
So take a group of people, 70 people, 100 people, and I say, here's the way most people think about their money, here's the way that you could think about your money, and what it's doing for you in retirement, and how we can then transform the way you live in retirement. We really try to focus on two things: securing your income and creating your legacy.
You know, Eric, there are a lot of people here in Florida, because of certainly the large number of retired people here, that do similar things to what you do. What I want to know is, what do you think it is that sets your company apart?
What sets us apart is because we work on strategies that secure income and create legacy, these distribution concepts, these transfer concepts, most other financial advisors, and I will say this, I do not begrudge anybody making a living. Okay, everyone needs to make a living. But most advisors, they're pushing products. Somebody has a $40,000 CD come due. Well, you need to buy this annuity, this fixed annuity, or you need to buy this bond or this real estate investment trust. They're pushing a specific product, as opposed to looking at the entire financial picture, their sources of income, how much income they need, the diversification of the rest of their assets. What we do is we look at the entire picture. We establish something we haven't talked about, a chronic illness plan, because that's one of the primary concerns of everybody who's retired, whether you have $10 million or $10,000. What happens if I get sick? Securing the income and creating a legacy. Most other financial advisors are not doing that. They're just simply pushing a product.
What makes Seeman Holtz different, I believe, from other financial advisors is their straightforward honesty in approaching a problem and discussing situations with you and listening to some of the problems and thoughts that you may have in terms of what we're discussing.
Truly, what we do is not just pulling the quote out of a book. We're really designing the policy to fit with our client and what we decide is the best situation for the client. For people over the age of 75, most people have always been trained that they should not buy life insurance when they're not working anymore. And really, we're using life insurance to create people's legacies, to allow them to transfer wealth to their children that they never thought possible. And a lot of times people don't even think that they can do such a thing till they're in the age group of 75 and older. And then most people tell them they shouldn't do it, and we're really able to show them how they can do it and how it's the greatest thing to do it at these ages.
I would highly recommend Seeman Holtz to my family and friends, because in dealing with various insurance companies over the years, I felt that Seeman Holtz, and Marshall in particular, was very helpful, and I would highly recommend them.
There are products that, if you're taking the money in deferral, is going to put you in a lower Social Security tax bracket, and a lot of people are very interested in that, and a lot of people are very upset that Roosevelt told them they would never have to pay taxes on their Social Security, and now they are.
We get tough nuts all the time. Generally, that is somebody who's made every dime on their own. They never received any inheritance. They worked very hard. They've accumulated a nice nest egg retirement, and they want their children to experience that same kind of work for it. So they don't really want to leave them so much money, because that will spoil them, and maybe they're doing things that, you know, they didn't necessarily approve of right now anyway. And I always say the same thing. That's exactly why the middle class stays middle class. The ultra wealthy, they do everything in their power to establish these beautiful exotic trusts with institutional trustees, that the children can't invade it, that they're going to be, forever generations, future generations are preserved, and the super wealthy just continually to get more and more rich. Whereas the middle class, they made it, they don't care what the kids get, then the next generation's got to make it, and they never do break out of that middle class mentality. And that's what I try to say. Listen, you got the money, you're not going to spend it. I wish you would. They don't. So how are you going to leave it? Why don't we leave them twice as much? Why don't we leave them twice as much tax-free? And if you really want to, don't leave it to your kids, leave it to your grandkids, or leave it to your great-grandkids that haven't even been born yet. We can do that too.
Thank you, Seeman Holtz, for giving me the security, a feeling of security for my future and my children's future.
Financial advice from Seeman Holtz for one of the most overlooked and underserviced segments of our society, seniors. I'm Doug Llewellyn reporting from Hollywood, Florida.